Hi guys, I'm out here in my backyard and I believe the very first video that I ever did for this channel was back in May 31st. So that's gonna be almost 6 months now. So that was the 5th, today's the 11th. Yeah, that's 6 months ago, half a year ago. And a lot has happened since then, and I wanted to update you guys with my eczema healing journey, some takeaways I have, some lessons I learned, and what I think works for me doing this lifestyle. Basically eating a whole foods plant-based diet, very low in pretty low in fat, focusing on clean foods, cleansing every so often with Epsom salt baths, exercising and sauna and whole foods and raw food diets and juicing and stuff like that, and also exercising daily to move the body and move the lymphatic system and get the blood pumping. So back in May, I moved back to my family home, and for about 3 months I was here healing, and this was the worst part of the healing crisis, approximately for those 3 months. And I don't know if it would have been better or worse if I were somewhere else, but I live in New York City, that's where my family is, and this is where I was doing my healing, whether I liked it or not. And around August is when things started to get a lot better, but I still had eczema. It was just non-stop. Every single night was dry, itchy, scratching, waking up with dead skin around my bed, oozing, just constant inflammation of the skin. From my toes to my head, I was just a walking eczema basically, and it was terrible. Psychologically and physically it felt terrible. And when I moved back to Vermont, back to my apartment in Vermont, things got a lot better. That's when the rapid healing started to happen, but it was also the 8-month mark. I had been doing it for 8 months, because January is when I started and September is when I went back home. And since September, which it's now middle of November, so about 10 weeks or 12 weeks or so, I have been just getting better and better, and my skin has been looking better, and it's been feeling better, and I've been feeling better emotionally. And I've noticed a huge change. The eczema on my face went away, on my lip, which it's been there for almost 2 years, on my eyes, it's been there for 2 years, right on the eyelids, my hands, it's been there for 5 to 6 years, my legs, many years, and of course my arms for about 2 years also. That started to heal up, and I still had some healing left to go, and I came back in November for Thanksgiving to see family and to have, you know, dinner and stuff like that with them and hang out with them. And since I've been here in New York, I've had like maybe every day, if not every other day, I've been going out to restaurants, and I try to pick healthy foods. You know, if anybody is trying to be perfect, it's me. And I'm really strict with myself because I really don't enjoy eczema. And if I can have any control in what happens to my skin, I'll try to pick foods that don't induce more inflammation and trigger a flare-up. But sometimes there'll be oil in it, sometimes it'll have some overt fats, and I notice that that does bother my skin. That I emphasize to you guys to eat a whole foods, low-fat, plant-based diet, and low-fat is so key, because for me, when I notice that even just for, let's say, a week, even just after one meal sometimes, if I eat way too much oil or if it has way too high fat, even if it's coming from whole plant sources, like avocado or nuts or coconut or anything like that, I'll notice within 24 hours my skin will respond, most likely negatively. And I noticed after this about week or 10 days that I've been here that my hands have been a little bit drier, has some red spots, and it is a little itchy. You can see on the insides of my elbows I started to get some signs of eczema, irritation. I can feel it if you just can't see it. Behind my knees, you can see it most likely on my face. Like, I haven't had this in 2.5 months, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm eating out every so often and it comes back, and it upsets me that I've worked so hard to clear up my skin, and you know, in just 1 week it can basically go to shit or something like that. But it motivates me all the more, and I learn from this that the next time when I come home, I'm going to pay special attention to, when I eat out, ask for steamed food, not stir-fried food. I'm going to try to pick a healthier option, even if it means eating a salad versus eating a cooked food. I'd rather have something that's low in calories and eat some food back at home than putting my skin at the same place that makes me feel my worst, which is a flare-up, inflammation, eczema, all that. And what I plan on doing when I go back home to Vermont is just eating the best foods that I can. I want to take special attention to eating lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, because the more fiber I get into my body, I feel the more I go to the bathroom, and the more I go to the bathroom, the faster things exit the body, like waste and toxins and lots of poo and pee and whatever. And I notice it's a lot faster, the healing process, if I'm eating really high fiber, really high water content foods, than if I'm eating, I don't know, like bread and pasta and potatoes and grains. Like, if I eat those things but incorporate a lot more vegetables and fruits, it's probably going to go faster, the healing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little mini cleanse, try to keep my foods really simple. Probably the first week I get back to Vermont, I'm going to be eating just oatmeal and bananas, lots of that, because those are really high fiber foods. I'm going to stay away from nuts, seeds, avocados for a little bit of time, just to balance out the fats in my body, because I think I've eaten plenty this week. And focus on, for lunch and dinner, eating potatoes, because they have the highest water content compared to like other starches and veggie and other grains, like, you know, quinoa, rice and barley and things like that. So it's just going to be potatoes, oats, bananas, and lots of salad and like salad veggies like cucumbers, carrots, tomatoes, onions, things like that. I want to see how long it's going to take to get back to my recovered state from before I came here for Thanksgiving, which my hunch is that it's not going to take too long, since the majority of the healing has happened. This is just sort of like a blip in the healing journey. So, you know, maybe it takes 1 week or 2 weeks to heal what I've done in the last 10 days, or maybe it takes, you know, 3 weeks. I don't know. But I think it'll be quick. And the other thing I wanted to say is that, you know, I'm not perfect with this diet, and I certainly don't have all the answers, and I certainly don't do what I'm supposed to all the time. Like, I watch Rob Stewart, and he's a great role model for me, and I watch Stefan's Health Quest and some of Greg's eczemahealing.org, and these guys are doing such fantastic jobs, and I can only hope to be as compliant and as strict and as so-called perfect as they are, because they're doing a fantastic job. Rob has cured his eczema for many years, and Greg is doing fantastic, and I'm sure Stefan is already in the last stages of healing his eczema. And it's all because they were consistent, they were patient, and they stuck to the diet, and they did what they were supposed to heal it permanently. And that's just what I want to do, you know. It's not worth eating these delicious or fun foods at the cost of making my skin feel terrible and making myself feel terrible. So it took a while to get here. It took many years for me to realize that. You know, 5 years ago when my eczema really started getting bad, it wasn't until 2 years ago when I turned vegan that I actually started to think about my skin health. And then finally 10 months ago that I actually took action. So it takes time, I understand. Baby steps are totally okay. Some of you might be wondering how you can even cook without oil. How can you eat food without meat or dairy in it or eggs in it or a bunch of other ingredients that I don't even consider food anymore? Don't worry, you'll get there. And you will also get there with starting your healing journey and achieving full clear skin. So everything just takes time. And even if you mess up little time or big time, you know, you can recover from that. This isn't like you mess up once and you can never heal your skin again. You just move on, you get back on the bandwagon, and you try again, which is what I'm going to do. So I hope you guys don't mind these long rants too much, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll probably be back in Vermont, and I have some fun videos coming up for you next, and some interesting stuff that I'm doing. So I'll see you later.